Oh, my mic was on. I didn't realize I didn't mute myself. Well, I wasn't making any noise anyways, so it's fine. Hi, how's it going? Let's swap over to the game. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good noon exactly, good evening for some people. Hi. I'm doing alright. I gotta turn my controller back on. Okay, there we are. So yeah, we're gonna take on Victory Road and then the Elite Four. And I may have bumped up the resolution of the game, so things might look a little bit prettier. I don't know how noticeable it'll be because it's really small on the stream, and the stream's only at like 720p because I only stream at 720p for some reason. I just decided that back when I first set up OBS, and I never fixed it. And I could stream at like 1080, but I just don't. I stream at 720/30 like I'm a Nintendo Switch. But again, I'm not sure how noticeable it is for you. Oh, they're also on like the bottom screen. When we get into a battle, you might notice that the models are much smoother looking. Oh, first things first, we should figure out our held items. Nope. Wrong move. And by move, I mean button. Hitting all the wrong buttons right now. Nope. Okay, I have to actually click on the thing. Sort by type. Okay, so we need some moves. And by moves, I mean held items to put on our guys. We don't have anyone using grass. I think we're gonna give Horatio that. Alright, we don't really have held items that are useful. Because let's take a relook at what our Pokemon moves are. Alright. Okay. Uh-huh. Could give Ed either the Silk Scarf or the Metal Coat if we want to increase Tri-Attack or extra increase Flash Cannon. I'm tempted to just not worry about it. Let's just not worry about it. We are going to go to Route 128. Oh, I can't fly there. Okay, we'll fly here. Okay, so I haven't been to this part of Hoenn since, I guess, back when I first played this game. This game specifically. Because before that, it would have been back when I first played Ruby for the very beginning of my time playing Pokemon. That's not where we were supposed to go, I don't think, but we got some items. Oh, rare candy, we'll take that. So Tofu's on the team. Tofu is very low level compared to everyone else. Everyone else is pretty much ready to go. So hopefully Tofu catches up from EXP share. Oops. Let's go down and around, I guess. We probably shouldn't have Roomba out in front, because Roomba is extremely strong already. Let's put Horatio in front. It's been a while since we've seen them. They absolutely crushed that gym. Solo. Oh. We got caught. Alright, so yeah, I can't tell if... I don't know if you can tell how nice looking these models look right now with this increased resolution that I've set up. But I really, really like it. We'll go for the feint attack, I think. Oh. Horatio really, took a lot of power there. Let's try Power Gem. If we can survive another Rock Blast. Jeez. This was like the boosted defenses of being Mega. Yeah, this is just a bad matchup for Horatio. Get Worm in here. Worm is unfazed. Alright, Tofu, you're 27 now. Alright, well that's not good. But it could be worse. Alright, we're gonna swap out. I think we're gonna swap into Ed. So Ed, it's probably gonna do like an electric attack. And Ed could take that, no problem. Or not. Now it does the electric move. Already we're using some of our healing, but that's fine. Let's see if the game hangs again when I do another Mega. No? Okay. It only happened the one time. Hi. Yeah, so we're on our way to the final Elite Four. So I took a selection of our MVPs from our various different types of teams, and we are on our way to hopefully beat the game. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about our team. I really enjoyed using basically every Pokemon we have on our squad right now. If it wasn't for the fact that we wanted Fire type with the Combuskin Tofu, I probably would have gone with what's it called? Yeah, the big Shroomish. The one that's like a weird mushroom raptor. Combuskin's not evolved because I'm not taking the time to level it right now. It'll level up as we go. It's the lowest level of the guys we have. Breloom. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, everybody else was pretty much decently leveled from when I last used them, but last time I used Combuskin was back when Combuskin was a good level. And because it's the only one I'd have to level, I'm just choosing not to. It'll catch up. We should use the Poké Center. What do you have to say? It's got good music, though. Oh, we have to teach one of her guys strength. Okay. We'll give her to Tofu. Tofu still knows Sand Attack, and while we'll probably get something else that we'll want at some point, we don't have it now. Whoops. I meant to hit Zen Headbutt there. There's probably an item up there. Oh, there's an item over here. Never mind. That's the right path. Let's pick a Pokemon to put in front. Right now, I'm keeping Roomba the Crobat as sort of like the ace in the hole if anything gets dangerous, because it's just so much higher level than the rest of the squad. You don't need to know Discharge. You can know Thunderbolt. Roomba is the cleanup slot, you're right. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Okay. This thing's got ground typing, doesn't it? So I can't Volt Switch, I'd have to do a regular swap out. We'll swap into Worm. Let's see if we can get these flinches going. Oof. Alright, let's go back and heal up real quick since we're right by the exit. Just do a Thunderbolt. Frostlass. That is Ice and Ghost, I want to say. I really don't know my type chart as well as I should. But honestly, you could probably just do another Thunderbolt and be out of here fine. I was trying to remember if there was like an interaction between Ice and Steel that I needed to remember. Oh, Worm wants to learn Superpower. Wait, no, I wanted to take a look at it. Giving Worm Superpower could be very funny. But we'd have to lose Aqua Ring because we can't get rid of Rock Smash. If I could get rid of Rock Smash right now, that's what I would do. So I think it's extremely funny to have this button on Worm. You know, I think it's funny enough to get rid of Aqua Ring. Am I gonna regret it? Maybe. But you know, sometimes you just gotta go with what you're feeling. Ugh, I am not going to equip Flash on anyone right now. We're just gonna stumble around in the dark. Yeah. Flash in particular, it's of the moves that they make you learn to navigate the world, Flash is the most useless of them. Alright, I gotta think this through. I should probably spray a repel or something if I'm gonna keep stumbling around in here right now. But I don't want to. Mostly because I want to make sure Tofu is still getting some experience. That was not the button I meant to hit. I was too busy thinking about the concept of Ed's full name being a magnet edutainment zone. Alright, we're making progress. We're gonna go up. We're gonna go up. I'm not gonna worry about what those two strength boulders were about. Alright, we're going to Volt Switch out of this fight. And bring in... Or never mind. Never mind. Alright, a fighting type. We should definitely swap out of a fighting type. Huh. Fun fact. Hashtag fun facts. Sableye's Mega Evolution animation is very interesting. Very cool. The Shadow Sneak in there. Quash? What is that? I've never heard of this move. No wonder I haven't heard of this move. Oh, what? It still didn't kill it? Got that extra Ender. Tofu wants to learn Bulk Up. Tofu was watching the fight. I don't think we need that. Alright, we're out of the Dark Zone. Or as they say in Pretty Cure, the Tsuku Zone. Right, the Fairy Steel type. Let's bring in Worm. Gonna get hit with like an Iron Jaw or something and die, but it's fine. Gonna use Superpower. Is it? Okay. Whatever. Whatever. It was a bad swap. It was a bad swap. It wasn't worth it. Worm's fine. Unfazed. There's so many places we can go. Let's go this way. Oh, we're back at the Dark Zone again. Oh, and there's surfing. Let's go check out the other one. Where am I going here? Is there like a path I'm not seeing? Useless bridge. Probably an item or something that I can't see, but I'm not going to worry about it. Honestly, I was kind of hoping that would kill it. Alright, let's go fight these ace trainers in a double battle. What's the fossil Pokemon? Look at that. That makes them rock type, right? Not ground. I'm gonna Volt Switch out of this anyways. And then Mega Evo. And then just go for, I don't know, Faint Attack. And just double up on the Armaldo. Who should we bring in? I'm gonna go with Worm. Worm's got a couple of fighting moves. While we wait for Tofu to level up more. Unleash a superpower on this Cradily. Yeah, I just... Aren't these two rock type? Isn't rock not... or isn't electric not super great to rock? Not that we're doing super, super great to begin with, but, you know. We'll bring in Hydrate, just because Hydrate's a bit tanky. And we'll get this Shadow Sneak off on Armaldo to hopefully get the kill. Oh, big oof. I could... Signal Beam might work here. I don't know if Rock resists Bug. I sure hope it doesn't. There we go. That was the answer. Well, it was the answer for a very short time. Let's bring Tofu in, and then we can Shadow Sneak to get Tofu a big EXP boost. And Quick Attack. Let's just double priority onto the Cradily. A big payday for Tofu. Alright. Wait, hold on. I bought lemonades, didn't I? Yeah, they're all the way at the bottom. I could have used a lemonade on Horatio. Oh well. Go outside and we go around. Pick this up. It's psychic. Could maybe be useful. Alright, again we're gonna Volt Switch out into Ratio. Oops. Do a Mega Evolution Zen Headbutt. Oh, a dragon type trainer. Who you got? Kingdra. Oh, got bad news for you. It's worm time. Now I could go surf some more, but I'm gonna go up instead. Alright, now we have to fight another double battle against a psychic type and a fighting type. Honestly, Horatio is the answer to both of them. But we will bring Roomba anyways. Roomba, you can come hang out. You're so strong and powerful. Oh. Hi. I don't know why I thought that would have been useful. Uh-oh. Alright, now let's give Roomba a lemonade. Sip of lemonade. Alright, so we're going to use Fly on Primeape and Mega Evolve into Feint Attack on the Musharna. Oh, wait, hold on. Hey, wait a minute. Horatio is so small. Horatio is the most just a little guy. Alright, now time to bully this thing with more dark attacks. Takes a Psybeam like no problem. Alright, we are nearing the end. Gotta prepare for battle. Oh, we could go up. There's probably an item up there, right? Ah, it's a TM. X-Scissor. It's a secret tool that'll help us later. So let's take a look at that X-Scissor real quick. Oh, his Psychic might be better to pick up than Zen Headbutt right now. Oh, never mind. You're a physical attacker. I thought you were a special attacker. Get that out of here. Now, okay, so let's think about this for a second. X-Scissor is a good counter to Psychic types, which can mess up Roomba. However, do we think it's better than the utility of having a Bite which can flinch? I'm inclined to stick with Bite for now, but if someone disagrees, let me know. And then convince me. I guess the answer is if we have to fight... There's a Dark type Elite Four member, right? And Dark type is weak to Bug. So it could be useful there. Also, Wally's so cool. Someone give me a ROM hack of this game where I play as Wally. I want to know Wally's story. Anyway, so back when I played original Ruby and Sapphire, this Altaria kept kicking my ass forever. And I never beat the game. So we're gonna swap out into Worm. Worm's gonna then play rough next turn. Solved. Problem solved. It's a poison type. I'm gonna swap to Horatio and get Mega Horatio going. This fight's it's got great vibes. with Power Gem here. Oh my god, a Horatio is smaller than this big cat. Horatio is so small. Remembering now that Power Gem was really only useful for fighting all those birds. It's a dangerous leech seed. We might get down by this leech seed. Oh. Alright, so the problem is we can't Shadow Sneak here because it's a normal type. But we're not going to win the speed battle. So I think we just sacrifice Horatio here for a better switch-in. We'll give it to Hydrate. I think Hydrate's got it from here. Blast a Surf. Magneton. Electric's not good here, I think. I mean, just in general, probably not. Surf, also probably not great here. Let's just go for a Signal Beam and see what happens. Not good. Bad move. Not sure any move is the correct move here, but we'll just keep trying them. Because I can't think of who to swap in instead. Oh, never mind. Surf is fine. Okay, then we're good. God, Gallade is so cool. Especially Mega Gallade. Oh, extremely dangerous guy alert. Yeah. Ed, get in there. You're gonna completely die to this close combat, but he's lowering his defense. Because now it's Roomba time. Aha. God, Wally's so cool. Oh, he's so cool. So much better than Brendan. A perfect rival for this game. Mew tonight. I can't think of a single time that happens. I'm being honest with you. I can't think of a single time in this video game franchise where you can lose a fight and the story continues. I mean, I guess technically the opening fight of Red and Blue. Yeah. You save again. Alright, so I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to take on the Elite Four. I'm not sure you can actually lose the opening fight of... Because, like, okay. Gold and Silver doesn't have an opening fight. I guess you could lose to Silver on the bridge, maybe? Or not bridge, but on the way out of town. I don't think you can. You might be able to lose to the Zigzagoon or Poochyena or whatever attacks Professor Birch. Maybe. I don't know what the rest of the opening fights are for. I think you can lose to Shenron and the girl from Black and White. You could probably lose that fight, both of those fights. X and Y, I think you can lose that opening fight too. Against, a girl with the pigtails and the pink shirt. Anyways, yes, I'm gonna take a quick... Shauna. I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we'll take on the Elite Four. I just realized I didn't change the text to the... Oh, it did say be right back. I didn't change it to starting soon for the start of the stream. Anyways, we have breaking news. At the World Tournament, the World Championships, Pokemon Worlds, they have announced a new Pokemon. And the new Pokemon is like a smaller version of the legendary Pokemon. It's like a little tiny... if you want to look at it, look up Cyclizar with like a ZAR, or just check any place that you check for Pokemon news. Throw a couple extra lines on it, and it definitely looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh monster that's like level 3 and is a synchro monster or something. It's a wee little bicycle lizard. It's extremely funny. I do like that it says, like the information we have on it is that, oh yeah, it's like used to be a household Pokemon. Everybody had them all the time because they're bicycles. Its ability is Shed Tail or whatever, right? Alright, which type is this first opponent? I'm gonna put Worm up. Worm's gonna be my answer regardless of which one it is. Unless I've guessed entirely wrong. Let's save. Dark type, okay. A miscalculation in some ways. But also we can superpower. So we're at +1 attack after the Intimidate. Honestly, let's just see if we can get one kill. If we can get one kill with Worm. Oh, well, at the very least, okay, we've gotten rid of the full restore. Let's shift into Hydrate. Hydrate can start doing Signal Beam. Signal Beam will be useful here. Oh, we got punched. Oh, it's another big punch. Yeah, without Tofu actually being usable right now, this will probably be the hardest section. I almost wonder if we should swap out Tofu for Tataru. I don't know if the level is much better. That would have been the same time of fighting type. So let's think. Let's think. I think the answer is just Roomba. I think Roomba gets us through here. It flew up into the sky. Honestly, just keep pressing the fly button. That gets us out of danger for like an extra turn. It does good damage. We're so strong. Oh, a Sharpedo. I think you might know an ice move, like Ice Fang or something. So we're just gonna take the rough skin damage. Alright, we're gonna go to Tofu Evolution. I'll keep the old moves for now. Yeah, Roomba truly is just the solution to this first fight. So if we need to restart for any reason, we can just crush it. It's time. Tofu would love to learn the move Blaze Kick, huh? Well, good news. It's probably a pretty good move. Alright, we're gonna give Tofu a rare candy, just to boost it up a little bit. Alright, then we're gonna do a revive. We're gonna do a max revive, because Lantern is a lot of health. Alright, I'm gonna try to beat the rest of this without doing one of those. What is this? Ghost? This seems like ghosts. This looks like ghosts to me. 1 second. Okay. Music's fun. I should have checked to see if there was like a better dark move that I had, like a TM for. Because Feint is fine, but, you know... could be better. Yikes. Not looking great for old Horatio here. Alright, I'm gonna give us a full restore. I think it's only fair. Okay. Well, it's Feint attack. Nope. Okay. All right. So that didn't go great. Let's think. Worm? Maybe? Fury's good against Dark, right? Fire off a play rough. Miss. Try it again. There we go. Fire off another one. 2 full restores? Just getting really lucky over here. No longer lucky. Well, actually not bad. Just keep going. Worm can do it. You think you can hurt Worm with your elemental punches? I don't think so. Okay, that one might hurt. Why didn't you start with that one? Yeah, it's AI, you know? Alright, we've got Bonnet. Fire off another waterfall. We get killed before we can do it, that's fine. Let's bring Ed out. Two Bennets. Huh. Lock on. What's lock on? If I was running Thunder, then maybe, but no. Alright, well let's go ahead and heal up again. I said I was gonna maybe try not doing that, but screw that. Have a lemonade. Have a lemonade. Have a lemonade. Lemonades all around. Now. Let's see if Tofu can do anything. I know it's like way underleveled. I know he doesn't have much of a chance. But like, let's see what he can do. I think it really would have been really funny if after that happened it turned into like the ice floors from the older games where you just start sliding. I believe. I believe in Tofu. We got the speed boost, so we're going to be fast. We have a high crit chance on Blaze Kick. We've got quick attack. Just like a couple of people at the Pokemon World. That's pretty good, actually. That's not bad. Get some speed boosts in there, and now we got a stew cooking. Hell yeah, Tofu. Wall rain. He's probably got like what? Thick fat or something? If I had a stronger fighting move. Oh yeah, that was bad. That was unideal. The dream is dead. Worm, get in there. Tear it up. Show it superpower. See if we can get that attack buff from player up and do another superpower. No. Alright, well, we'll do another superpower now. And then we'll swap out so we can reset the attack stat. Oh, that didn't get it though? Dang, alright. Rock Smash. Let's give it to Ed. What's the Ice-Steel interaction? Is there one? Let's find out. Cannot get one shot. There we go. Genius. Oh. Well, then the Magnet Edutainment Zone has got it from here. Edutainment, you beautiful piece of equipment. I love you so much. Now don't get confused. You're a cold and calculating machine with a heart of gold. Heart's too gold. Now don't die to the hail. Alright, we just have to be faster now. We're not gonna be faster. I don't think that's gonna happen. But we haven't used a full restore. So, it's only fair. Alright, Ed, okay. Let's get some healing done real quick. Honestly, I am still pretty impressed by Tofu's showing. Just hand out the rest of my lemonades. Use a Max Elixir on Worm. I have a feeling Worm might need it. Watch Worm die turn 1 to an Iron Tail. Crunch. Oh. Well, then I guess we're probably fine. Cotton Guard. There we go. That's a move that I hate to see. Congratulations. You've given me a move that I hate. Ed, get out here. Ed, you take care of this thing. I don't want to see it. Alright, Flygon is going to be a bit harder sell. And we can't Volt Switch to solve it either. Yeah, no, Ed's just going to eat that. It's fine. It's time for Egg. Alright, time for a repeat. Let's go. Playground has really not been giving us any of the possible attack buffs we could have been getting. Ooh. Ow. Okay. Let's think about this. I don't have an answer. Is Salamence pure dragon, or is it like dragon flying? Because if it's dragon flying, then I could hydrate and discharge like 3 times. Okay. We'll try hydrate here then. Might be more than 3 times, might be 4 times, might be 8 times because they're going to full restore. Beautiful crit. Okay, hydrate. Gonna last longer here than I thought you would. Okay. Way to go, hydrate. You're a god, you're a champion. The stream has to end eventually, but you know what? Damn. Let's just get Roomba in here and finish it. And not get hit by a thunder the moment we fly up. Wow. I don't know why I wasn't expecting the full restore. Let's just charge the fly. No, that's bad. Could have been worse. Alright, but we can't use another one of those. I could full restore, and that would solve everything. And I'll probably do that. Let's hope we just don't freeze on this next one. Shout out to that Gastrodon who got that freeze during Worlds. That was incredible. Favorite thing that happened. Okay. Well, it wasn't clean. And we mostly won because Roomba was so over-leveled. But it's a victory. Like, here's the thing. If Roomba wasn't over-leveled, I would have just been item scamming. You know? I would have just been like, alright, well, let me sacrifice this person to get a heal in on someone who can actually do damage. Etc., etc. Steven. Hello, Steven. Now, I did not hit save. So. I think we really want Ed out here right now. Alright, double spiked. That's not great. Sturdy, huh? Should definitely max Ether Thunderbolt, I think. More spikes? Try a flash cannon, see how that goes. Not bad, actually. Sturdy! 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 Flash cannon! This is the power of edutainment! Let's get a full restore on here. Unfortunately, this thing is still bad for us, so let's fire out and launch a worm. And eat a whole bunch of spike damage. Ugh, gross. Psychic type probably isn't going to do a lot of damage, but I do want to try it and see what happens. Okay, did not even lower the defense. Never mind. Not worth it. Bad move. Bad call. Get Hydrate out here. Go for a Surf. Let's go for a Dive. I don't want to be hit as much. Perfect. Yes, they would die immediately to spikes, you're correct. Signal Beam. Wasn't worth it. But now that you said that, let me just go ahead and do that now, actually. Oh, let's see if I can do this with the confusion. Alright, so we need to do damage to this. It is a rock type. Let us bring in... Tofu's one fighting move is bad. Roomba could fly? And that would be neutral? Oof, bad luck, bad luck. Alright, I don't trust that we're not going to see another full restore here. Yep, okay. This is not great for us. We might need to item scam here. So let's think. We could do Mega Tofu and Blaze Kick, and that would be neutral. But it's not going to be particularly strong because we're 17 levels down. We could Mega Horatio, and Horatio could faint. And then faint because they would be defeated. Ed is would be 4 times resisted. So that's a no-go. What we need to revive Worm. Because Worm can just come in and superpower. So if we revive Worm, Worm can superpower, and then we'll need to get back out in order to be useful against the Metagross. Tofu could maybe be useful against the Metagross, if it's fast enough. Alright, I think what we're going to do is we're going to send out Horatio, Mega Evolve into a Faint, just to see, and to also set up the higher defenses. And then we will revive Worm. Oh, hell yeah. Genius. Alright, we can take this time, revive Worm, and then, honestly... Oh, shoot. It's a status restore, right, okay. I want to use a full restore on Worm. Then I should use one on Horatio, and then I think Horatio can take this the rest of the way. Really pushing it here on this one. Part of me is almost like, well, maybe I should just eat the reset. Maybe I should eat the reset and then retry. That Cradley is basically back to full. And I think it's healing more damage than I can do. Maybe not. Let's do a Shadow Sneak. Alright, we'll just let Worm... We'll just do it. We'll just superpower. We'll just press the button. What? What? Well... Just press the button again. We'll just keep pressing the button. It'll keep getting weaker, but it's fine. Okay. There's still the Armaldo, right. Okay, Waterfall. I think it's Ed time. I think we bring in Ed for this one. I should have sent in Ed. Ed would have been able to crush that Cradaway, actually. I forgot about the seal. Alright, What if we try attack? What's the worst that could happen if we try attack? We die instantly. It's fine, we didn't even get to try it. So we send in Worm. We'll see if Worm can get the get any damage on the board with superpower. No, it's the answer. I forgot about the fact that it's Psychic type also. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We could Roomba. Could Roomba and use that dark type move. X Scissor would have been perfect here, actually. Or maybe we should have ran X Scissor. Yeah, I figure it had like a psychic move, but we gotta work with what we got, which isn't much. Honestly, I think we're going to end up taking the reset. I think we're going to take the reset and try it again. But we can give it a try because it has to recharge this turn. And we're faster. So, we might be able to flinch. Huh? Huh? I'm raising my eyebrows, huh? Let's go for it. Why not? Yeah, okay. Now we're in business. Now we're in business. We are no longer in business. Wait, no! We've got this. We've won. We've won. Because Tofu and Metagross has to recharge. So unless Steven uses a full restore, Blaze Kick can do it. And if he has another full restore, we do the reset. It's fine. Yes! Yes! Tofu! Tofu came in clutch! Oh. That was beautiful. See, the thing is, we could have won a bit cleaner there. I think we would have won that fight anyway. So, if I had remembered steel moves are good against rock types, I would have used Ed on the Cradily. I was too busy thinking about the electric. I was not thinking about the flash cannon. And that would have gotten ended a lot quicker. I mean, yeah, like I said, some misplays, but honestly, I think it made it more exciting. Worm! Hydrate! Ed! Ed, the absolute guy! The absolute robot! Ed is so powerful and strong and is my best friend. Where's Wally at? Wally is like so much better as a rival for this character. Brendan is just like the guy who's the kid of the professor. You don't run into him enough. You don't get to learn anything about his story. Wally, we know all about Wally. We are like Wally's mentor in a way. Brendan exists. Brendan is one of the guys of all time. I love those flat JPEGs of trees in the background. Ah. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. This is fun. Aww. I don't remember this credit sequence. It's very cute. There's Tofu. There's our Wingle, whose name I've entirely forgotten. There's Tataru. We didn't name our guy Pico, did we? Pico is... what's his name's? Old Briny. I don't remember our Hariyama's name either. Oh god, I don't remember most of our guys' names. So I remember using that one, and it was fun. It was pretty good. It's no Turnip, though. See, I remember Turnip, who was the MVP from that section. I don't remember that guy. There's Norm! Norm the totally normal bird. There's Turnip. This is really fun for this type of playthrough, because there's Worm. It's the return of the Worm. There's the plane, whose name I don't remember what we named the plane. It's like Planetarium or something. There's Horatio. I feel like there's supposed to be models that are there that aren't. Oh, there's Juice. And Peachy and Quinoa. And there's Moby, parentheses whale, close parentheses. They should do this for every Pokemon game. It's great for me. There's Hydrate. And there's... oh no, how have I forgotten? Wheelie! Wheelie! It's Wheelie! I can't have forgotten Wheelie. And Roomba. Roomba against Wally. And Tofu! Tofu, who the absolute star, getting that final hit in. I am legit just like, my face is going to hurt because I'm smiling so much from this ending. I forgot about... oh, this is so nice. I feel bad for those two Pokemon whose names I forgot. Did we name our Wingull Pikachu? Is that what we named it? I feel like we named it something really silly. You know who we didn't see at all in there? We didn't see Twerp, who I thought would have shown up at least once. pond from the intro of the video game. I wouldn't call it a pond, it's kind of just like a hole in the ground. Okay, alright, it's time for one more. Ed, get in here. Time for you to tear it up. Broke my sturdy, but that doesn't matter. That was a really powerful volt switch. Holy cow. What if I just signal beam? It wasn't a move that I was expecting. That's a move I was expecting. You know what? Yeah, let's get Tofu in here. Tofu, tear it up. Let's go. Tofu sweep. Let's get these speed boosts. Oh. Bad. Well, don't do that. We've been paralyzed. Let's get this paralyze off us. Okay. You really want us to be paralyzed, huh? I was hoping that with like 5 speed ups, we would have managed to outspeed the debuff from being paralyzed, but I guess not, huh? So it's time for Mega Swampert to appear. For the only time. Look at this big guy. I was hoping for a really funny status effect there. Alright, it's Roomba time. I was really hoping that'd still kill. Should've used Bite instead. Okay. That's it. That's a dub. Put it on the board. Hey, that's the name of the video game. The end. But wait, there's more. It's called the Delta episode. This sucks. Coming off the high of that credit sequence, and now we're just like, alright, here's some like domestic upsetness. Deadbeat Dad Norman. Making my family move all the way to Hoenn and not making any time for them. So I have an important question to ask of the two people viewing this stream right now. Next week, for my regularly scheduled streams, Saturday is going to be the Splatoon 3 demo. And that'll probably be what I stream that day. But on Sunday, I will be starting the Delta episode. Maybe finishing it. I don't remember how long it is. My question is, should we break out the wheel one more time? Should we have a wheel specifically for the Delta episode? Alright. Okay, we'll let this play out in the background and keep breaking. It's wheel time. Whoops. Whoops. Clicked outside the thing. Yeah, that's gonna be the hard part. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But we're gonna wheel. Here we go. Please ignore that. Rock! That's new. We haven't done a rock type. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Where is it? There we are. Alright, I will hunt down a national dex and start planning out a team. If you have suggestions, contact me via stuff. Probably, if you're watching the stream, you know me on Discord. But I think that will be it for the stream. Thank you so much for watching. As we finished our main part of the run, we will be cleaning up the Delta episode next week. And then after that, we'll figure it out. But until then, have a good one.